which is all about Bitfarms once again, of course. So Bitfarms just put out their May 2024 operations update, and let's go through that. There's a few other tidbits other than the update as well that I wanted to go through. But just looking at the production update, they earned 156 Bitcoin in May of 2024, which, by the way, seems kind of low. However, you got to keep in mind that this is the full month. This is the first full month that's after the halving, right? So, in case you guys don't remember, the halving happened right around 420, right? It was 419, 420, back in April. I think this is pretty much half of what Bitfarms was doing before, right? Bitfarms was doing 300 something per month before, and then now they're doing 156, which it seems like it's low, but I guess it's not like super unexpected given what happened with the halving, right? They did secure additional hydropower in Paraguay with the potential to add another 6 exahash in 2025. So that's good news. And then they increased their installed hash rate to 9.5 exahash, and they improved their operational exahash to 7.5 from 7.0. So this one is a bit complicated. So let me explain. So before, Bitfarms was promising to get to 10 exahash by the end of May. However, there was some sort of contract delay. Like they plugged in the machines, but they're waiting for the electricity company. I think this is down in Paraguay that they're doing this expansion. They're waiting for the Paraguayan state-owned electric company to, actually provide them with the power. And there was a small delay on that front. So that's why they weren't able to get the full 9.5 energized. So they have the 7.5 energized, but the additional 2 exahash, we'll have to wait maybe a few more days or weeks. Hopefully it's not too long for the energy company to actually turn on the power. Now, even given that, they're still 0.5 exahash short of what they promised. Again, they promised 10 exahash by the end of May, so they missed that by a little bit. However, maybe I'll toss it to the guys later and let them respond on what they think. But I don't think this is a huge deal, right? And they reiterated that they're still on track to get to 12 exahash by the end of June, which was their other promise. So there was that. And then they improved the energy efficiency to 27 watts per terahash, which is down from, I think they were over 30 watts per terahash. Like lower is better in this case, right? They're using less watts per terahash. That's what it means, right? So it is up 31% year over year in terms of efficiency, and 13% month over month. And lastly, they're on track. They reiterated they're still on track to get to 21 exahash by the end of the year. So 12 exahash by the end of June and 21 exahash by the end of the year. And they're also aiming to get to 21 watts per terahash. So again, another big jump in efficiency by the end of the year in 2024. So that's it for their May update. And there's a few more tidbits, but before we move on, let me just quickly toss the question to you guys. Given what I've just shared with you, this operational update, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that how would you grade it, right? If you were a teacher and this is like an assignment that your student handed you, what grade would it be? Would it be an A? Would it be a B plus? Or what do you think, right? Or do you think that this is just absolutely terrible, is an F or a D? So let me toss a question to you, whoever wants to take it first, Dom or Tristan. Maybe Tristan, because Tristan's our mining expert here. So yeah, take it away.
Something like that. I think it was all right. It's never ideal for them to not have fully reached their goals in a time frame, but I think they got close, which means that the miss isn't as big a deal as if they were, say, like a full exahash off. So I think that from that perspective, I think it's still pretty reasonable. And the Bitcoin mined, I think, is pretty bog standard. It's nothing. It's nothing that I was not expecting for post halving. So I wasn't really concerned too much about that portion. And anytime increasing efficiency, that's a pretty good output with the increase from the 31 to 27. That's definitely a substantial increase in efficiency. So I think that they're proving to be on track ish for what they're saying they should do. I think that they may be a little bit off, but not by a ton on some of these delivery dates that they've given. So until they prove to have basically caught up to where they were lagging a little bit, I think that there is some reason to just keep an eye on them and make sure that they're going to deliver through with their promises on this front. So far, I would say that nothing is sticking out to me as like they're going to completely miss what they promised to output. It's just that they may be slightly slower than what they had originally planned. And I will say that I wasn't super pleased to see that they have installed the hash rate but haven't energized it yet, which is a little bit not ideal since they have all this hash rate that could be generating some revenue, but instead is just sitting idle for a bit. And I understand that that's not necessarily their fault, but it's idea. It would be a lot better if that hardware was being put to work. So overall, I'd say it's like a probably more like a B plus, A minus kind of thing, where I'm like, nothing's really like that bad, but there's definitely some things that are in need of improvement, but it's relatively minor stuff, at least in my opinion.
Pun intended.
Pun intended.
Minor. Yeah, Dom, what do you think?
So I kind of agree with Tristan. Like I would probably give it like a B plus, like A minus, and I'll go on to say because it kind of looks like based off the docket notes here, that there are some like differences and like somewhat of improvements, but I think just because of specific circumstances, one I can talk about, one we'll talk about later. The CEO issue obviously is like an issue, and it probably affected like the whole production of the entire company. So like of course, everything can't go completely fast and according to plan. And for what it's worth, like based on the information that was just mentioned, they're doing a decent job just because of the post-halving situation that's happening. Like it's been like what, a month and a half or so. Like just I don't know the exact dates, but in terms of overall production, it looks pretty decent. So for the benefit of the doubt, A minus, I'll say that. So
yeah, I mean, if I were to give it a grade, it would be similar to what you guys just said, B plus or A minus. I think I'll go with B plus just because like I want to set the bar high so that they can hopefully like achieve it, right? Because in my mind, like an A plus would be like a absolutely shocking like report where everything is spectacular. A minus would be like everything is good, everything exceeded my expectations, but maybe not by a lot. And then B plus is like some things exceeded my expectations, but there were other parts that left room for improvement, right? And I think that that's more so what this is. So the 156 Bitcoin mine, it is a little bit low, even with the like having considered, in my opinion, right? Like they could have done a little bit more, I think. But again, like it's not like a warning sign. It's not like a red flag or anything. So it's okay. And in terms of the like installed hash rate versus operational, I think I'll cut them some slack here because they did install 9.5. They do get up to 9.5 exahash, and the reason why it's not energized is not like their fault. So operationally, like they were able to install the miners on time. It's just getting the electricity, maybe working with like less efficient companies like a government owned like a state-run electric companies, like probably not the most fun thing to do, right? Like the fault is on the electric company. So they definitely like managerially, they have the capability to install all this hash rate and stuff. I am a little bit disappointed though that they didn't get to 10 like they originally promised. I know it's only 0.5 exahash of a difference, but a difference is still a difference. So for those, just for those two reasons, that's why I'm not giving them an A-. I'll give them a B+.